Propping and patterning do not create milestones. When we are in those modes, we're already saying, yes, we have a concern, we get that. But at the same time too, putting someone in the right position is not going to create anything. Whether it's you and I or your baby, the first rule of thumb for any kind of cognitive development or cognitive sophistication is we need to know we can get in and out of a situation. Period, the end. I'm not going to put myself into a situation, or I hope I don't, where I can't get out of it. Right? This is why we have such a problem with, let's say, drugs and alcohol or that kind of thing, because you're putting yourself into a situation where you probably can't get out of it, you know, when you're going into abusive situations, right? But you already have issues of getting in and out situations and so forth. And again, that immaturity shows up and you're looking for propping. And so I hate to say that's the same type of analogy, but for babies, for milestone development, they have to get in and out of the position. You cannot stand a child in walking all day long, or stand a child and expect them to walk. They need to know that they can get in and out of standing, right? And so this is why we go through the transitions of milestones. Our milestones continue until the day we pass away, right? But to put a person in a position to prop is again, you're not showing them how to get in and out of the situation. So if they don't know how to get in and out of the situation, they're not going to get into the situation to do it, and they're not going to get out of the situation to get out of it. This is one of the things we have to watch with a lot of therapies too. Like, got someone really upset because again, when you're coming here in this group, this is for support with movement lesson, right? But it's also support for development, it's support for parenting, but it's all through you know, my teachings of movement lesson. But my child has CVI, my child's hypertonic, you know, so I mean, I'm on other boards. I'm in other boards too because I have clients there. They've invited me in. And I don't go on those boards to sell. That's not the point. But someone is propping their child in front of this light box. Now, this child can't get away from the light box. And they're like, what should I ask for an ophthalmologist? And I said, well, one of my things is the light box appropriate for my child? And everyone just chimed in. Well, I use the light box and I was just fine. And I wasn't talking about your child. I was specifically talking about this child that can't get in and out of the situation. Do they have the ocular acuity to work with such a bright, the contrast of a light box where they can't get away from it? Because part of vision is being able to, again, move in and out of the situation. Your eyes might be fine as far as acuity, cylinder, axis, the sphere, right? But they might not be fine because you can't move in and out of a situation, right? This is where a lot of the CVI comes into play because, again, oh, that's too much for me. I mean, for my son to look at me, it's like looking at the sun. You know, he just, you know, he talks to me, it's still here. But for me, I'm the hardest person for him to look at. And he'll come back and tell me all about someone who spoke at his history league and this, that, and the other, and their whole resume. I mean, photographic memory, but at the same time too, you know what I mean? Like, there's just some things that just don't work. He's getting much better. He can nerf, he can do that. You play laser tag with him, he will beat you. He will beat you. He has perfect aim. So again, when you're saying, oh, Michelle, how's his vision bad? For facial recognition and so forth, you know, but especially for me, it is the hardest thing. He can't get in and out of that situation. And again, these are just all different examples of a mature person. But when you're putting a baby and you're propping a baby, right, the whole point of tummy time is not the positioning. Tummy time is really for babies, and I've shown so many videos on this, that they can go down and they go to sleep. First thing that tummy time allows you to do really is your nasal septum. It's the only straight line in the human body. Sorry, this is an adult skull, but you can see it quite clearly on this guy, right? It's the only straight line really we have in our bodies is the nasal septum. So when a child's in tummy time, right, they're supposed to learn this, and it's sort of like going through sand, how we have to scoop through sand, where our nasal septum starts opening up all these kind of cranial movements. And as far as that, your speech is going to depend on it, your eating skills, your swinging on a swing is all going to depend on your epnoid, right? It needs to go into that. It needs to go into those kind of movements. Now, eventually, your pubic bone, your pelvis, all that comes into play, and this rises your head, almost like a turtle, like sign language for turtle. It rises your head, and that's what tummy time is. And then in this position too, now I can start to move, and that's a pre-crawl. You know what I mean? And that's what starts going into. So I've just done the 1 month video, and I'm going to do these for every month. But when you're propping your child here, now you're getting this. Now you're going to get this anyway when you have microcephaly, let's say, or macrocephaly, because you and I can't tighten this muscle right behind the head, right? But when we have plagiocephaly of some sort, and going into that, now you're getting into a head lift, right? And all of that. You can try it. Try tightening that muscle right here. You're going to be like, everything else will tighten around it. But there's certain muscles in the body that you can't physically manipulate through tightness. So when you're propping a baby like this, you're getting that. Now we're going into rolling over. So we don't even have tummy time. And now we're being asked to rolling over. Listen, I want milestone development more than anybody. We need a good foundation. You need a good foundation in your house, and you need it in your body, right? So we're negating key, milestones. Now we're going into rolling over. Rolling over is when your vision sets up with your spine. This is when your eye starts connecting your vision to the spine. Eye-spine happens way before eye-hand coordination. Eye-spine needs to happen first. So by again, and you guys can do this. People that do more of the trainings get taught this. I can't teach everything on a Facebook Live. Yes, some things do take a training. And some trainings are hundreds of videos, books. I mean, like it's hardcore. And some trainings are just, easy peasy simple. And because me keeping you successful is my number one goal. I can be the smartest person in the room, but if you are not able to incorporate it into your life, you know what I mean? What good is it? And then you go to the next person and so forth. Or worse, what people are trying to politely say here is you can't rely necessarily on other people coming in once an hour, once a month, once a week, whatever it is, and making a difference in your child's life. There needs to be some that transfers into the home. And this is one of the new unique gifts that you have here, is that you can take this stuff. Hi, Andrea. You can take this stuff, and again, it's not only that unique that I teach this much, but at the same time too is that you can take it into your home. You can be doing this at midnight if you wanted to. You can do it at 8 a.m. Whatever suits your fancy, you can do at home. I've done plenty of trainings. First of all, I don't get the videos. That's like, because you're going to copy and share them and all of that. Well, guess what? You know what I mean? And then two, and so again, the reason I do all this is because of what I went through. I'm not kidding. As a mother, I didn't get the support I deserved. And I paid for these things, and I should have had the videos. But anyway, yeah, cranial. I mean, I'm CS level too, but at the same time too, so no, you never say to anybody you don't believe in their technique. Okay, you don't say that to the lawyer, and you don't say that to the plumber, and you don't say it to anybody. What you do say is, I'm confused. My daughter really needs to do a tummy time. What are all the things you know that I can do in tummy time to do all of this? Right? And all of that. But yes, sometimes, again, not all OTs are created equal. Not all, anybody. I could go to law school. Doesn't mean you want to hire me as a lawyer. And this is why I say too, like if you're going to certain things that are, and I say the same thing if you come to me, get a lesson from me first, feel it. You know what I mean? I'm a big believer in, like, say, chiropractor in movement lesson. I like it a lot. I looked into becoming a licensed chiropractor. It would mess with my movement lesson because of practicing out of state and all that sort of stuff. Again, valid reasons, but not all are created equal. Some kiddos prefer a male or whatever. Asher's here right now, only works with Felipe. So everyone has different things that they bring to the table. PTs and OTs have master's levels degree. I get it. Maybe they've never even worked with microcephaly with coronal suture overlapping. So all of that kind of thing come into those things. But at the same time too, you're coming here, so I'm going to see you in July, so that's all cool. But I'm not saying, I'm just answering the question of what I want to give you, the why. I'm the why person. If you teach me something like you make spaghetti this way, why do you put the garlic in? Like, I'm the why. I'm not questioning someone's authority. I want a why. And that's how I am. Now, I've done a lot of trainings like, this is just the way we've been doing it for the past. No, that's not, that doesn't answer my why. I get it what you've been telling me. But I've worked with people that have broken their scapula in 5 different ways. You know what I mean? And you have to go out of the box. So no, so that's what I was just going back at to first of all, you don't hang anything. First of all, you have to work on the milestone. Does your child have weight transfer and transitional movements? Okay, so the first thing you're still on is weight transfer. And the transitional movements that come from is the eye spine. So, and you can do this with your spouse right now. And it's a really easy, simple thing to do. I wish I had another person here. I just did it to my client this morning. You take someone over hand, and you just, now, again, touch isn't hard. You will feel them repel. This is where Newton's law comes into play. For every action, there's an equal opposite reaction. So when you're doing hand over hand technique, and I wish, again, so many people, I've just tried to teach anesthesiologists this. If you come underneath to check the pulse versus above. You go above, they're never going to want to work with you. You come underneath, they're gonna just beg for you, right? But at the same time, then as you come underneath and you do this thing, I can do it. I can dance with you. I can do it. Second, I do this, and you can feel it even in yourself. You'll repel. So the difference between Newton's law and I can't call my laws, my theories of rotational mathematics, is you come underneath. With rotation, you can get anything you want, but with hand over hand, you're not going to get it. So in rolling over, so when your child's looking to roll over, what should happen is I see something and I go, that go right here starts raising the head, and then that's where it happens, right? To come here and do this, you're getting the positioning, first of all, where the arm's going to go. There's nothing here, and you're getting all that child's going to learn is a face plant, and all that child's going to learn is this. So again, you're going into non-functional movements. But to be underneath here and to be working as if they were rolling over, right? You're still getting the same recourse of a roll, but here it's functional movements. You're working on the midlines, you're working on the spines, whereas here you're just, again, this is anybody grabbed your ankles. I can do it to you in standing, and you'll just lose your balance in 3 seconds. So that's what it needs to be. No baby in the world that you will see a child sitting props to sit. It is just not in their DNA unless there's a problem. So this 3-point sitting, because again, if they create this and your child can just hold this position for 30 seconds, now they can check it off their list as an accomplished milestone. It is not. Sitting is for independence. Independence meaning I can look long, I can come back, I can come over here, I can start crossing my midlines, which needs to happen. If I'm here, I can't play, I can't see, I can't do anything. And on top of that, I'm sure you've seen these things like with kyphosis. For every inch a head goes forward, it's an extra 10 pounds. And that's why you want to stand up straight. So again, if I only know to prop to sit, again, your vertical milestones are just going to be really aggravated, and they just won't. So, and again, so that's where it is. So again, to prop and to pattern, it's not going to transfer into cognitive development, and it's not going to transfer into a milestone. A milestone, again, is a transitional movement that they can get in and out of. They have to use rotation. If they don't have rotation, again, rotational abilities, it will not become or be a milestone. I can do this all day long, but I can't feed myself. I can't fix my hair. I can't take, I can't do anything. And especially too if I'm propping. And we see this with little old ladies and grandpas and so forth. When they get into that position, they're going into failure. They're really going into failure where they have to, be careful, and I can't, and I can't go out to dinner, I'm not good at night. And again, it's intelligence. because we're not going to go into so forth. Again, weight transfer is taught into all my courses. Specifically, you're going to get into segment 1 training to get the details of it. But the best still is a baby support program, and really just to work on that tummy time. That tummy time and weight transfer that's taught in the tummy time is just way to go. But weight transfer is what I practice, so it's in everything. But to get into the specifics, it's training. But to get into the basics, it's it's the course by the Milestones, and that's where to go. You just practice it with your water bowl technique. I mean, it's something so simple, but it's really important to manifest changes in your child. And that's where it is. So again, this video is not to say, what you're doing is wrong. This video is to help you give more clarity as to what you can do to help your child. But if you're putting a lot of hours into those kind of things, I'm just going to prop her. You know what I mean? Like, or the people that are trying to help you are, like, I've gone through it, and it's just that. But there is equipment-based sustainability later on in life, and we're trying to avoid that at a young age. But again, to think that, and you see it on Instagram all the time, and YouTube, all this stuff saying, look, my baby got it, because again, they've just tucked those elbows and stuff. So it's just not the way to go. I have my rolling over video, and I'll put that up now. Thanks.